Jason Rzucidlo reporting for AmericaJR.com, and I'm being joined by Jacob Gardenswartz, one of 3 winners from Southern California for the Abercrombie and Fitch Anti-Bullying Scholarship. How are you today?
I'm very well. How are you?
Very good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So let's get started here. Now, how big of a problem would you say bullying is in our schools?
Bullying is a national epidemic. So research from a couple of years ago showed that every 7 minutes a child fails to attend school because of bullying, whether they fake an illness or just say that they don't want to go. And that really proves that this is a national problem. And in addition to bullying that occurs in schools, you've got things like domestic violence, abuse at home, workplace bullying, elderly abuse. So my program really focuses on targeting this at the beginning when it's in the younger stages with younger children, so that it doesn't escalate into mass murder or something like that as the students get older. I don't know if you remember the University of California Santa Barbara shooting, but I was recently in an interview and was asked about, obviously bullying played a large role in that. And so we hope that by targeting these students younger on, we'll be able to help prevent some of these larger scale crises that can occur.
Very good. So please tell me about the Theater of Peace program.
So the Theater of Peace is an interactive anti-bullying program. We try not to say anti-bullying necessarily because we're not anti-anything, but we're pro-peace. And so we're a group of actors aged around 13 through 19, and we go into schools and we try to share messages of peace and of tolerance and of acceptance with these students. We have between 8 and 10 different scenarios that will portray different instances of bullying. So whether it's bullying that's occurring at the lunch table at school or out on the field or at home or at a high school job, we try and show students, rather than telling them this is what you should do, bullying is a tricky topic. And so we like to show them these are the situations that you may find yourself in, and we try and involve them in it. What do you think is the best way to resolve that?
And you said you go into schools, mainly in the San Diego area?
So we mainly go into schools right now. The Theater of Peace is only located in the San Diego area. As I just graduated high school and I'll be heading off to the East Coast, I'm actually obviously no longer able to continue my specific role on the Theater of Peace as it's based in San Diego. And so I'm starting a new organization with some of the other high school seniors who are involved that are also going off to college. That'll be called Impact on Stage. Nice. And the goal is to take this idea of using live theater to share a message in schools and expand it nationally throughout the country, and also expand it to things beyond just bullying. So things like consent in terms of sexual abuse and rape cases, and in things like alcohol and drug abuse. We really want to try and show that live theater can be a great medium for sharing ideas. And so we're going to try and do that in schools and colleges and maybe even workplaces eventually.
Wow. So walk me through how that works. Does somebody give you a call, an email, or how do you do this?
So we've partnered with a nonprofit organization called Interactions for Peace, also located out of San Diego. And so with the Theater of Peace and Interactions for Peace working together, we've been able to raise about $10,000 worth of grant funding over the past couple of years. And that's what pays for the actors, the sets, those sorts of things to go into the schools. And so we meet with the schools before each assembly and we say, what are the specific areas that your school are facing? What would you like us to focus on, so that each assembly is really tailored to the individual school. And then we'll go in as the actors and we'll perform these assemblies and have conversations with the students. And it's all about dialogue. So it's never just like, we show up and we do our little performance and we leave. But we really think it's important to have a conversation. So there's all sorts of curriculum that goes with it, both before and after the performances. And we make sure that there's ways for the students to reach out to counselors or whatever it is they need to do.
Tell me more about the ICE approach.
So ICE stands for Interrupt, Complement, and Escape. And it's just one tool out of a toolbox of a variety of different ways that we suggest students can help alleviate bullying situations. But it's one that I particularly like because it's pretty simple to remember and to understand. It's got a nice simple acronym, and it's a good way to alleviate a bullying situation without putting yourself in more danger or more harm, without making the situation work. So Interrupt it's all about stopping whatever bullying is going on, whether it's verbal or physical. If you can interrupt in some sort of way, ask a question, even just say something random and make the bully stop doing whatever it is he or she's doing. The complement is one of the most important parts, because one of the biggest downsides to bullying is the self-image attack and the way that we can become our own bullies in our own minds. So by complimenting the person, we can start to help negate those effects. And it's even best if we can compliment them on something that the bully was even attacking. So it directly changes whatever that person's thinking about themselves. And then finally, E stands for escape. Get them out of that situation. Go talk to a trusted friend or an adult or a teacher and try and get some support.
All right, very good. So when and how did you find out about the Abercrombie and Fitch Anti-Bullying Scholarship?
So throughout the whole college application process, a large portion of my time, in addition to just applying to colleges and filling out, applications and essay test scores and all those sorts of things, was also looking at scholarships, because the cost of college is certainly something that's a little bit worrisome sometimes. And so I applied for a large variety of different scholarships, but when I saw this one, it was sort of perfect for me because this is exactly what my program does and something I'm really passionate about. And so I just found it on some website somewhere and applied and crossed my fingers, and in the end, I was lucky enough to be chosen as a recipient.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. It's been really exciting.
Very good. So what was the process like? How many weeks or months did it take until you found out that you got it?
So I applied midway through the year, I'd say, just an online application. I had to fill out some background information about myself and write an essay about what my program did. And I don't think I found out about it until May or June, I'd say. And then there was an award ceremony here in San Diego, and I went and I also spoke a little bit about my program, and that's when I was actually given the award money. And as a result of the scholarship, I've also been able to do a lot more things like this, where talk to some media and journalists and be able to spread the name of my program, which is great. And I was also in Chicago a little bit with Abercrombie and Fitch, who's producing a video about anti-bullying, and so I was able to be in that as well.
So tell me about that. How did that go?
That was a lovely experience because it was myself and two other recipients of the scholarship, and so I was able to hear what they were doing, and it just I felt so honored to be in their company, because certainly this is a group effort, and if we're really going to try and combat bullying in schools, we need as much help and support as we can get. So meeting these other students who were as passionate as I was fantastic, and I also got to connect with some adults who were pretty prominent in the field, and psychologists and researchers who had a lot of experience with bullying in schools, and so being able to team up with them was great as well.
So did they tell you you're going to be on the bags and in the posters in the stores and all of that stuff?
I don't know about that. We'll see. I know they said that it's going to go into, as of right now, at least 4,000 schools across the country, and we're hoping it'll reach many more than that. But it's, for me, the most important thing is that it's reaching the students, because that's where my focus is trying to change their lives and trying to help them realize how important this is.
All right. And I understand that you've selected to attend the University of Pennsylvania.
I have. I will be a freshman at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia this fall, studying communications and political science. Hopefully I'll be able to use those degrees to continue my program and impact on stage, help it grow and reach this great potential that I really see for it.
Finally, what would your message be to those who are, in school, maybe they're being bullied or they saw somebody else who is being bullied?
So I think the most important thing for students to realize is that you are not alone, that this is an issue that affects thousands, hundreds of thousands of students across the country, and that there are a lot of resources for you to get support. So if you just go online and search, I need help with bullying, there are thousands of websites, one of them is mine obviously, that helps students try and give you tools and tips and ways that you can get through this. But I think my biggest message to students would be that you've got to believe in yourself, and you've got to find that self-confidence. And at the end of the day, if you know that what they're saying is not true, it can't hurt you. And there are lots of resources out there to help you and to help give you support and ways that you can go about that and get out of those bad situations. But you've got to believe in yourself.
Alrighty. Any other final comments before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's it. Thank you so much for contacting me.
All right. Thanks so much. Nice talking with you today.
You as well.